All right. All
Yo.
right. Wait, hold on. Hold on. All right, we're live. This is SFA and Chill podcast episode 6. I think we have quite a banger for everyone today because not only one, it's a wild time in the SFA, but we have DogWater, we have PinStripe making his debut, and McNasty's coming on
What's
later.
up?
So say hello, PinStripe.
Hi guys. Sorry I haven't been here.
For anyone who doesn't know PinStripe, he's the Buffalo head coach, and he has like 3 career wins. So, anyways, let's
It's
get
9. But
all right. So let's get started. First order of business always is real life here. I'm putting the rankings up on the screen for anyone who hasn't seen them yet. So this is real life. Do you guys have any reactions before I go on a massive rant?
You're all putting bias into the polls. You're not thinking logically.
I don't see Pitt. No,
Okay.
I think Kansas State's a little bit too high. That's all. That's all I got.
Are any reasonable takes before I pound you into the ground?
So are you talking about SFA or fucking
College
No,
football
This
playoff.
is the real life rankings. This is Tennessee number 1, Ohio State, Georgia, Clemson.
all right, dude. The only problem I have with it is Clemson being so high. I mean, you can try to run me in the ground all you want about this, but y'all are thinking with bias because
There's no
No,
bias.
I get it. I want Alabama to lose just as badly as anybody.
No.
Don't get me wrong. I want new teams in the playoffs, but that's the way y'all are thinking. You're throwing
No.
all logic aside, and
All
yes, you
logic
are.
aside.
Dude. It's
No.
all bias.
Okay. Let me just
TCU is
Give
not
me-
better than Alabama. They're not better than
give
Tennessee.
me
They're not
5
better than
minutes
Georgia,
here.
Ohio
Give me
State.
5 minutes here.
TC has doggy shit.
The only thing this committee got right is Tennessee at number 1. That is the only thing.
No.
That's the only thing I'm gonna even
disagree.
give them. That's the only thing I'm even gonna give them credit for. Tennessee has the best win. They have quite a few good wins. They did have a few scares, absolutely, but in terms of everything that's going on in the country as far as college football goes, Tennessee deserves it, and they look good. I would consider Ohio State. I was actually expecting Ohio State at 1, but you know what? I'll take this. 2 and 3, that's just how it goes, you know. Ohio State's played a Mickey Mouse schedule, but we know they're all very, very good. They're going to be up there. Same with Georgia,
Oh,
whatever.
so they have 3 in a row, right?
No, I'm saying whatever. Clemson at 4 is bullshit. Okay,
I said I
Michigan-
disagree with that. I
was-
disagree with that one.
I was expecting Michigan to be there. Not necessarily because I think that they should be at number 4. Like, I don't think they're the 4th best team in the country, but they deserve it. They're undefeated. Blake Corum is really good. They've beaten everybody handedly. There's been no
Right.
scare with them at all. Alabama at 6
Right.
over TCU. This is complete bullshit. Clemson should be 6.
No.
Alabama should be 7.
No.
TCU should be 5. Yes, because
No, Clemson should be 7, Alabama should be 5, and TCU should be 6. TCU is not
okay.
a better team than Alabama. There's no reason for them to jump them just because Tennessee's only loss on the season was to the number 1 team in the nation by 3 points.
Yes, it is, because guess what? They did lose that game.
No, it's
TCU
not.
actually win their game. And guess what? Alabama should have 3 losses right now. If Quinn
Name
Ewers,
one team. Name one
Quinn
team that
Ewers-
TCU has played that's better than Tennessee.
If Quinn Ears didn't get injured, they win. Texas wins that game.
Can I say something? Can I say
If
something?
your boy Jimbo Fuckerface, whatever, if he calls a non-shit play, Texas A&M wins. Alabama should have 3 losses. Pinhead, go ahead.
Okay, TCU's played from behind all season.
All right, I have something to say. We're debating the semantics of 4 through 7 with a month left before these rankings matter.
Okay, no. These rankings matter a ton. The whole thing about these committees saying, "Oh, you know, if you don't agree, it doesn't matter." They don't matter. Yes, they do, because this is your path to the playoff. No team has ever gotten in less than, who was it, Ohio State or I believe Oklahoma, who's like number 15, debuted in the polls. You can't get into the playoff without beating teams that they rank. So to say these rankings don't matter, it absolutely does matter, and I'll tell you why.
They absolutely
I'll
do.
tell you why. Because they set this whole shit up, this entire crap up, for the SEC not to fail. Because they overranked LSU. LSU's ranked 15 in the AP poll. I think, sure, that's fine. They rank them 10. You know why? So that they can claim, oh, Tennessee has a top 10 win, or 2 top 10 wins, and then so Alabama has a chance to get a top 10 win this week over LSU before, and then when LSU loses, they're going to still be ranked top 20, so that, okay, these teams have really good wins over LSU. This is all set up for the SEC not to get less than 2 teams in, and they're trying to make it so they're going to get 3 teams in. Because right now, if everything you can say everything you want about these rankings don't matter, but if all these teams, if these top 7 win out, besides the Tennessee-Georgia game or whatever, they're going to put in Alabama over TCU with 1 loss, and that's bullshit.
And to that I say, I agree with you. Actually, you made a really good point, and I you guys both know infinitely more than me about college football, and this is bullshit now, and I agree with you.
No, it's not, because I'll tell you literally exactly why.
Now here we go.
You want to talk about? See, I understand why you want TCU to be ahead of Alabama. No, hold on.
Bring in brand bias, which actually does not matter even a little bit.
I'm not bringing in brand bias, dude. I don't give a shit about either of these teams. I actually want Alabama to lose. I root against Alabama every game they play. But in this situation, you're trying to compare somebody that's literally played Colorado, Tarleton State, SMU, an Oklahoma team that has literally won, like fucking 4 games?
Technically a top 25 win, if we go by the Memphis.
Oh my God, dude.
No, that's actually a good point,
SMU is a top 25 win for Memphis, right, in the SFA. Why can't we use that same logic for Oklahoma?
Sure. We'll do that, whatever. We'll do that.
It doesn't support his narrative.
They beat Kansas, who has not won a game since week 5.
Well, that's
they started out 5-0 and have not won a single game. Dude, their backup quarterback Bean is really good. That excuse doesn't. That excuse works when you don't have a competent backup.
I mean, Bean is at Kansas, but okay.
Continue. Backups are backups for a reason.
Continue.
Okay. Anyways, so they beat Oklahoma State. You know, that was a double overtime game, by the way, and then Kansas State went and beat the brakes off Oklahoma State. Okay, they did beat Kansas State as well, right? And then they beat West Virginia.
Yep.
None of these teams look at you and scream that they're better than Tennessee. They're better than any of the top 4, really.
Okay.
None of those teams.
Obviously.
Alabama has shown they can at least compete with the top 4 because they lost by 3 against the number 1 team in the country.
So what? You still lost. And, okay, look.
They lost by 3 on the road in the record-breaking sound setting for a stadium in NCAA history, by the way.
Okay.
They broke the decibel record by like 6 decibels. Every decibel is twice as loud. They were 6 times louder than the previous record.
I don't care about decibels or anything. Tell me this, DogWater. If TCU had Alabama's resume and was 7-1, and Alabama had TCU's resume and was 8-0, who would have been ranked higher?
Alabama.
I would say TCU, but they would probably rank Alabama higher anyways.
Yeah, exactly. My point is, there is a faint argument that you put Alabama above TCU, and I'm fine with that because brand bias or whatever, we know the committee is bullshit, and we know it's all catered to the SEC.
Both teams have an argument to be higher. I'm not saying TCU doesn't have an argument for it, but I'm saying right now, obviously they're always going to put Alabama over someone like TCU just because of its bias, yes.
Every argument anyone has told me over the last 5 days on why TCU's ranked below Clemson and Michigan and Alabama, completely goes against every reason that they're saying that they're putting Clemson above everybody. Clemson has been down late to people. They have the worst quarterback out of any of these top 7. They have played.
Said I don't agree with Clemson at
Yeah.
all. I think Clemson should be at 7.
Yeah, Clemson
And everybody
should
else
be at
behind
7,
them moves up
absolutely.
1.
And also, here's another point I'm making. How is USC below Oregon?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Oregon lost by 46 to Georgia, and USC lost on a 2-point conversion at Utah.
Yeah, but Oregon's come back and beat the brakes off everybody,
45
including
point-
UCLA, who was undefeated.
A 45-point difference. And they still
top
rank
early
Utah at
Season
the
loss,
14.
but they got blown out early season. They can literally just blame that on its early season. Nobody's in
Yeah, you're
midseason
gonna put-
shape. They weren't prepared.
And here's the other bullshit. How are you ranking a team at 18 if you're saying recency bias, right? How is Oklahoma State ranked at 18 when they just lost by 48 to Kansas State? 48-0.
Still won against ranked opponents. They
But
got
they
blown
just
out.
got blown out.
But when a good team gets blown out, that's like an exception to. That's not the rule. It's the exception.
And
Oklahoma
then-
State has competed with everybody on their schedule and won for the most part, and then they got blown out one week where Deuce Vaughn just caught fucking fire. And by the way, how come nobody told me that dude was 5'5"? That dude's a fucking midget.
And then
it was my
how
job
are
to
we-
tell you how tall Kansas State's running
And the
back was.
rest of this ranking is just complete ass, right? How is North Carolina only
I
ranked
agree, I
17?
agree.
I know
I agree.
their defense is bad, but come on. 7-1 and an ACC team, if you're going to put Clemson at 4 and North Carolina at 17 for beating the same bullshit, it's annoying. And then Syracuse loses 2 in a row. Like, get them out of here.
Yeah.
Wake Forest
I think
just
Illinois
threw
should be considerably
had
higher.
6 turnovers in one fucking quarter. And then NC State doesn't have a
Yeah, but
quarterback.
you're-
Stop ranking bad teams.
Yeah, but some of these though, some of these you're going a little too extreme, especially Wake Forest. Wake Forest has played really well all
Wake
season.
Forest is fine. They have a great quarterback, whatever. But all I'm saying is all of these rankings are complete bullshit.
Well, I mean, you also have to look at it too.
Go ahead.
Wake Forest has what, 2 losses
3. No, 2. They have 2.
or 3?
2.
2 losses. Okay, yeah. And what rank are they again?
21.
It's 21.
And then Carolina's at 17 with 1 loss.
17 with 1 loss.
Okay, so we're just talking like bottom half 25 where none of these teams are going to matter. I mean, like in all
Well, yeah.
honesty, here in a few
No,
weeks,
that's
none of these
why-
teams are going to matter.
It is all bullshit there, but I'm not going to really talk about it. My problem is that you overrank SEC teams so that the teams at the top here can inflate their resumes that are still, with the inflated bullshit, not as good as TCU or the Pac-12 teams.
Well,
That's all I'm saying.
TCU's in for a rude awakening this weekend, anyways.
Who are they playing? Texas Tech? Okay. See, the
Is it time
disrespect.
getting some upsets?
All right. Anybody else have anything they want to say about this week in college football?
I actually thought of
or
one
the
thing
rankings?
I really, really want to say.
Yes.
Week 2, it almost beat the number 1 team in the country with a backup quarterback. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, you're right. And the fact that they hurt some of these teams like TCU for quote-unquote close games that they end up winning by 2 scores, and then you have teams like Tennessee winning in overtime against bad teams, and then you have a team like Alabama winning like on last-second plays against Texas A&M and Texas. It's bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
I mean,
really care how
you-
it affects Tennessee.
You also have to look at these games too. A lot of these situations, good teams are going to struggle sometimes, and like Texas A&M, they have a bad record. They're not really a bad team.
Right.
Well, they are a bad coach team.
But
Okay,
all this dude said on live television when they asked him why TCU so low is that really said because they're not balanced, their defense is bad, and they were down for some of these games. When all of these games they ended up winning by a touchdown or 2 touchdowns or whatever because their offense just pops off in the second half. I agree that their defense is bad. And if TCU gets into the playoff, they're probably going to get boat raced by Ohio State or Tennessee. which is fine.
It's
But
not even just
that's
that,
not,
dude.
That's not what we're ranking.
It's not
We're
even
ranking
just
the
those
resumes.
teams. Yeah, we're ranking the resumes, and we're seeing that TCU's defense can't even keep up with sub-tier teams.
Yet
You're
you
not. If
have
you're
teams.
TCU, I'm not saying their offense couldn't handle being in a game with some of these top teams. I'm saying they cannot play from behind like they do so consistently
Okay.
against these teams.
Well, here's my problem, though. Like a team like Alabama, sure, they have the talent, but their defense at home average giving up like 7 points a game. Fantastic, amazing. When this shit defense goes on the road, they give up like 35 points a game. Like, you can't. It's all about where you play
Even
in
in a
college
neutral
football.
site, dude. Any of these, I think TCU would get dog walked by any team in that top like 6 besides Clemson. I think that's the only game TCU would stand a chance in.
I think they'd beat Michigan. I think that one would be close, though. And then, if for me, it would just depend.
I don't think they could beat
if
McCorum.
Alabama
I don't think they could at all.
showed up. All right. Well, let's
Yeah,
move
Alabama would dog race the shit.
Well, let's focus on the only matchup that matters this week, in my opinion: Tennessee and Georgia. I think
I hate to say this, dude. I really hate to say this.
Huh?
I want Tennessee to win. I don't think they're going to win in Sanford Stadium.
I'm kind of the same way.
But I don't think they can. I'm not saying Tennessee doesn't have the ability to. I don't think this Georgia team, people are mocking them week in and week out over that Missouri game. Like, these guys will not live this game down for the rest of this season, and I just think you beat the brakes off of Tennessee. There's no question anymore. Nobody's gonna bring up you struggling against Missouri if you blow out the number 1 team in the nation.
Question for you guys: do you believe in Stetson Bennett?
No. He's a game.
No, I believe in him in college. That's okay. The extent of it, though.
He's the equivalent of A.J. McCarron. Pretty much the exact same quarterback.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, he had the talent around him to succeed. Yeah. I think he's a little bit better than McCarron, but...
Dude, that defense last year, that's the reason they won. I mean, he played
absolutely.
Well,
I'm not down yet.
Didn't their defense score like 2 fucking touchdowns in the Natty?
Yeah, and he has George Pickens, and they have amazing running backs. Yeah. And he has Bowers. Like this team is stacked. Now, I think Georgia's going to end up winning this game because if this game was at Neyland, Tennessee would win, in my opinion. But because
100%.
Because it's at Athens, Georgia is going to win, but the one thing that makes me think that Tennessee has a chance is because...
Nolan Smith.
I don't know who Nolan Smith is.
Isn't he their DN that just got...
Oh, yeah. So that's kind of where I'm going. Georgia has the worst pass rush in the country, one of the worst. They only have 10 sacks on the year, which ranks in like the 120s, and their top pass rusher just got hurt for the year, and this Tennessee offense is absolutely incredible through the air. If you give Hendon Hooker just sitting back there enough time, he's going to eat you apart. No secondary in the country can cover this team. And so that's the only chance is if Hooker doesn't turn the ball over and he has all the time in the world to pick them apart through the air, then I think Tennessee wins the game in another high-scoring affair, like 50-42 or something like that, right? That's their only chance.
Give me...
So, I really hope Tennessee wins. I don't think they're going to. If Nick were here, he'd tell us all the reasons why, but...
I mean, this is just another one of those situations that we all want Tennessee to win. But, when they played Alabama, in my mind, when I was thinking about the game, what could go wrong, I didn't see a single situation Tennessee loses that game. Like, coming into a pregame with Georgia, I have so many questions in my mind. It's just like I can't give it to Tennessee.
Yeah, it's just one of these games that screams that, oh, come on, Tennessee, please. This will prove they're for real. And the college football gods are like, nope, your Cinderella runs over.
Yeah. It sucks because, like, Tennessee is such, like, a like they haven't been good since like the Peyton Manning era, pretty much. So it's good to see like, a new team like actually making a college football playoff push. But
Oh,
I don't see
absolutely.
them winning this game.
I love the parity, even though it's an SEC team. It's one that has not been good in any of our like adult lives, or
Well,
well, yeah. So even if they lose, they still have a path, but they need Georgia to win out. Which
yeah,
even okay,
yeah,
the three
well,
team, the three SEC team playoff is still very much alive, and I hate it if Georgia
Yeah,
wins
and
and then Alabama
it's
wins the
going the
SEC.
way I predicted.
Yeah, and it's
I
annoying
said,
as
dude.
fuck because
Look,
it's gonna end up being Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and Ohio State. Oh man, look who just joined. McNasty's here.
oh,
McNasty, do you want to do your segment right now, or do you want to wait and participate in everything else?
I'm just along for the ride, man.
Okay, perfect. Well, do you have any thoughts on Georgia and Tennessee in real life?
Real life, Tennessee will dog walk Georgia. Hot take.
That is a bit of a hot
wow.
take. Any reason behind that, or just a feeling in your big toe?
fuck Georgia. That's his reasoning.
Bingo. I hate Georgia.
All right.
It's
Well,
just basically Alabama again, and I don't like Alabama, so fuck Georgia. And
yes,
Tennessee's uniforms look cooler, so we'll go with that.
That's
absolutely,
a
dude.
fact. The
Those
checkerboard,
black
is so cool.
or the black they just had. Whew.
Orange is better than red.
That's
Yeah.
just such an L take, but
Dude, if I have to make another black and red SFA logo, I'm gonna kill myself. It's been like
what was
3
the
years in a
last
row.
before Utah? Dude, it was Iowa State, and then it was Arizona. What was it before that?
Okay, it was red. It's
Utah.
always been red. I want something other than red.
Like blue and white?
Hell yeah, baby.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
Forgot about that part.
All right, so now we're doing real life upset picks. I don't know if you guys were able to prepare yours, but
Oh baby.
Yeah,
I got a
last
banger.
week, me, DogWater, and Nick went a whopping 0 for 6. So you can't do worse.
All right.
I'll start it off because I think I have a few bangers this week. I think just like 2020. I don't know if it was 2020, but I think Notre Dame beats Clemson because I think DJ Ugabuga is the worst starting quarterback among any contender in the country, and it's not even close. And any competent team, Syracuse should have beaten them. Who'd they play last week? Should have beaten them. So I think Notre Dame, they're a 3.5 point underdog. They're going to end up winning that game. And my super underdog pick is Charlotte is going to beat Western Kentucky. They're a 16.5 point underdog, and
Fuck you. That was my super upset.
I think that there's no way they get beat by 17 by Western Kentucky. I think Charlotte will at least put up a fight.
All right. DogWater, do you want to go next? Do you want me to go?
Yeah, I got it. So, Ron and TC are not gonna like this, but for my upset, I've got the Red Raiders, baby, going and beating TCU. TCU's an 8.5 point favorite. As of right now, it's been moving back and forth, but it's an 8.5 right now.
The Hypnotoad, no chance they lose to the Air Raid.
They're losing to the Air Raid. And then my next one, I'm doubling up, dude. Give me Nebraska over Minnesota for the super upset.
Oh, no. Okay.
Just not
give me
Nebraska,
Nebraska, baby.
After they ripped your heart out last week.
Their quarterback got hurt. He's coming back though, but he had to go out of the game in the first quarter. I mean, they were winning when he was in, and after he got hurt, that's when everything fell apart.
Also, just so you know, I know Mike is listening. I'm never picking Georgia Tech again. They gave me 1 quarter of hope, and then they just completely shit on themselves.
Georgia Tech ruined Pitt, so fuck Georgia Tech. Here are my picks. I saw Pitt against Syracuse. That's just not happening. Kidon Slovis, complete ass. My regular upset pick is Maryland over Wisconsin. I believe the spread is like negative 4.5 Wisconsin.
Okay.
I don't have any reasoning behind that, but I believe
Negative 5, no.
negative
Well,
5. All right.
I think Graham Mertz is a pretty shitty quarterback. The question is Toluo playing or is he out for the year?
Oh, I had no idea he was injured at all. So
I think he's
Anyway.
out for the
He
year.
got injured. Yeah. So okay. So that is a spicy pick.
He's just like his brother.
if Tolua's out. So
yeah, that does hurt my pick. My super dog pick is a team that got dogged on last week. 14-point favorites. Penn State is gonna fall to the Hoosiers. Because
Wow.
I can see it, dude.
Yeah.
No, that's actually a good pick. I considered picking it because last year the same shit happened. They started like 5-0. They lose to Michigan.
Yes,
and they lose to
exactly.
Ohio State, and their season's over. So they shit the bed and they go like 6-6. Like I think that's very possible. But then again, it's Indiana, so.
well, yeah, but you gotta look past that.
They have the most losses in Division I history.
Is that true? Wow.
Yeah, they
Well,
just passed
that number's not
700.
going up this week. That's
Pitt?
incredible. That's like
No,
me at
Indiana.
Buffalo.
Yeah. I was about to say, doesn't Pitt also have like the most like national championships in college history?
It's
Pitt?
no, it's God,
Or
who's the
just
team?
you.
No, it's one of the Ivy Leagues. It's
Yale,
And-
Harvard,
yeah.
Princeton.
yeah, Princeton has the most. Princeton and Yale, I
Fuck,
believe.
Pitt had like 9.
They're up there. McNasty, do you have any upset picks?
Yeah. I have one that I firmly believe in this one. Tulsa is going to expose Tulane. Tulane's
Okay.
not that good. And so I feel like Tulsa's just going to prove that. I know it's kind of a lower ranked team, but if you lose to Tulsa, you suck.
That's a
and-
spicy one because Tulane's at 19. They're looking for the G5 bid for the New Year's Six. So
Yeah, they're trash. And Army beats Air Force.
ooh, I don't know about that one. I
Yep.
like Air Force.
Actually considered using that one. They're favored.
And if I have to, I think Michigan State will bounce back. And I don't think they'll beat Illinois, but I think it'll be a lot closer game than what people think.
Man,
I thought
fuck
about
y'all,
that
dude.
one, but everything Mel Tucker and that fucking
Okay.
yeah.
I tried Michigan State last week and it fucked me.
Okay. McNasty, you're an MSU fan. How did you react to them
Yeah.
beating up the Michigan player in the locker room?
Well, it wasn't in the locker room, and this wasn't the first time that we've done this. So you should know what you're getting yourself into when you walk into that tunnel. Just saying.
Wow.
All right, I like
Wow.
the words. I
You're
like
saying, so you're saying you advocate for beating jumping people 10-1.
I think if you're gonna decide to talk shit, you shouldn't do it alone against a big group of people who just lost a football game. Just saying.
Do you agree with them getting suspended?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't think what they did was right, but actions leading up to it, how are you not gonna have this happen?
You know,
Like,
I agree with
the Michigan
McNasty.
player had to be smarter than that. He wasn't, and things happened. I don't agree with what happened, but it happened. You can't change it, so suspend him, move forward, whatever. Just maybe put the locker rooms not in the same tunnel.
Dude, absolutely. So you're just a singular Michigan player, right? Walking into the tunnel with this entire group of team that just got boat raced on the field, and then you're talking shit.
And you know he wasn't quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, of course not. And all these dudes have their helmets on, and you don't, and you're talking shit. Of course they're gonna smack you and beat the shit out of you, like.
Like, I'm not sure what he thought was going to happen.
Yeah, they're not the.
But-
I don't.
Well, I
think
can
football
promise you he
players
didn't think he was
are
going to get jumped
afraid
10-1.
Football players are not afraid of physical confrontation, especially against their most hated rival, right? Like, they're gonna take the cheap shot. So,
Yeah, 100%.
but yeah, they agree to get suspended or kicked off the team or whatever because you shouldn't be doing that, but it's understandable. All right, any other hot takes? I'll throw one more out there. I'm not going to count towards my record, but Colorado's going to expose Bo Nix, and they're going to shock Oregon.
Oh, shut up.
It's happening.
Yeah, expose how great he is against Colorado.
No, anybody who's heard me, Bo Nix is a complete fraud. It's going to be exposed this week. Colorado's going to get in his head, and they're going to choke because Bo Nix is fucking shit. That's all I'm saying.
TC, I'll make a bet with you.
No.
If Oregon wins, no, okay. All right.
Okay.
It's a 3-score spread on the bet.
Okay, what?
If Oregon wins by anything less than by 3 scores or more, you change your profile pic to Bo Nix.
No, sorry.
Okay.
I love my profile picture. The roulette
You're
wheel,
welcome.
It's my Twitter profile picture.
Yeah, this is the perfect one. I love it. Matt Barkley is a beast. All right.
Tune in tonight.
Can I change my super upset pick?
Yeah.
No.
Go for it. Because I'm already in on Charlotte. So.
The Northwestern Wildcats over the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Are you serious?
It is a 38.5-point line. All right. Northwestern beats them by 3 touchdowns.
You know Northwestern.
I'll take 2 or whatever he's on.
You know Northwestern hasn't won on this continent yet this year, right?
Oh, don't worry about that. It changes tonight. They're due. They're due. They're due, man. What do you want?
That's not how it works.
They're due.
You're due when you're 0 for your last 30 in baseball. You're not due playing the number 2 team in the country. Oh my god.
They're due. All right. Hey, TC used this excuse last week on me. It's my turn.
So
they're
I
due.
think you're just racist towards purple teams. That's what I think.
Northwestern is purple, and I picked them to win, dumbass.
Exactly.
What do you mean I'm racist towards purple?
It's an ironic pick. You know they're not going to win. Okay.
Okay. No. Okay. So it's TCU 8. I get it.
Yeah. Exactly. You know what? You're racist towards frogs. You can't tell me TCU doesn't have the best mascot in college football. The horned frogs. That's amazing.
I can tell you you're wrong.
Okay.
I can definitely tell you're wrong. It's not better than Chief Osceola riding Renegade.
No. I'm going to say UAB. Dragons are cool.
The Blazers. You know,
I'd agree with
I
that.
like their logo. Yeah, UAB's pretty cool. All right, well, we're gonna switch.
Give me Theo Porter.
We're gonna switch gears to SFA here. Huge day tomorrow. We got conference championships. We're gonna go one by one through these and break them down. First, unfortunately, is New Mexico and UNLV. The first time in 5 seasons, San Diego State has not been in this game. How do you feel about that, McNasty?
You know, it was an unfortunate turn of events that happened this year. I'm surprised it took this long for the nation to realize my defense is god-awful, and all you have to do is throw the ball. But, you know, UNLV, they're not going to win, so we'll just leave it at that.
Wow, that's a hot take.
So, New Mexico, they have Ryan Leaf, so he is pretty good.
They also so here's my thing. UNLV has been very dominant this year. New Mexico has a rookie quarterback, and then their top 2 receivers are JSN and Ephesians Prysock. I just don't think that they have the experience to take on this UNLV squad. And I think Leaf will have a very good SFA career. I just don't think that he wins the Mountain West this year.
Now,
Give me UNLV to cover.
I will say also New Mexico is missing their top running back in this game. It doesn't get posted in the injury report because he's only like an 80 overall. I only post 85 and above in SFA players, but yeah. So, but I think I picked UNLV no cover just because I like Ryan Leaf, but I don't think there's any way that because this game technically is going to be a home game for UNLV because the Mountain West is played at Allegiant, so yeah.
Oh, TC, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you said that there was 2 rematches, do you mean in conference championship game SFA history or this year?
Just this year, so that's why I added South Alabama beat FAU.
Okay.
Because I wanted to, because I didn't want anyone to have. I didn't want you guys to have an unfair advantage to me looking at these previous matchups, because I saw them
Gotcha.
and I was like, oh, I think everyone should know what happened. All right, so picks for the Mountain West game. I have UNLV by a touchdown.
UNLV by 17.
New Mexico by 14.
17.
Yeah, you said UNLV by 17, and
Jeez.
McNasty said New Mexico by 14. I like that pick.
Give me UNLV by 5.
UNLV by 5.
All right.
All right, now we go on to the AAC Championship. Yes, there's no East Carolina. Please don't.
I'd like to take the floor here.
harass me.
Take the floor, please.
Marcus Mariota is, I think, the most underrated QB in the SFA. I think he's a monster. I think that this Old Dominion team that was abandoned by his name escapes me right now. But this Old Dominion team is good. Mariota's a baller, and I think he puts up 6 combined touchdowns and bitches Grayson out of SFA Team of the Year conversation.
Now, yeah, so Mariota, he's finished number 3 in the previous 2 iterations of Team of the Year. He is a great quarterback. They're barely in this game just because I lost to Cincinnati. Temple's barely in this game because Army choked this week. Temple has a win over Penn State, who was at full strength earlier in the year. So both these teams are high-powered. Don't sleep on Temple. I'm picking ODU by like 21, but don't sleep on Temple. This could be closer than the average person thinks.
Yeah, give me ODU by like you said, 21, 28, something like that.
DogWater?
ODU shutout.
ODU shutout.
Shutout.
Now, Tyrann Mathieu, who's their free safety, he's had a very down year, so this defense isn't as good as they used to be, but yeah, okay. All right, now we got the Sun Belt here. South Alabama, who did beat FAU earlier in the season, and then FAU, who finds himself ranked because they have wins against Florida, and they have wins against Miami, who's a top 10 team. So
now, no one actually cares about this game. I picked FAU because South Alabama burned me in BearCave last week, and I think it would be funny for the UTSA guy if he left FAU only for them to win a conference championship.
Yes. Now, FAU is without their top pass rusher, who's like a 90 overall. I think Florida Atlantic plays incredibly well against teams in Florida, but not against anyone else. So that's why I think South Alabama wins.
Give me FAU, and I want them to win by, they'll probably win by like 12, 13.
Yeah,
Around there.
10. That's probably what I'll say.
I'm going to say FAU by at least 21.
Damn. See, now remember, these games are all going to be simmed like BearCave, except because it's conference championships, if it's close at the 5-minute mark instead of the 2-minute mark, we will watch. So, if these games are
We
close,
won't be seeing any of this game then.
Yeah, no. I don't know. This is one of the ones where, like, all the logic points to FAU, but the previous game was at South Alabama, so there's really no way to really tell. But it looks like we're all going FAU on this one. We kind of all agreed so far. No one's really gone against the grain except the New Mexico pick, but that's just because you're salty at UNLV. But this next game, this next game is quickly becoming, I think, one of the best little rivalries in the SFA, just because Toledo obviously was Giraffe's team, but you have Toledo, who had a 2-score lead in the MAC championship last year against Miami, Ohio, and they choked it with 3 interceptions by Brett Huntley, and they ended up losing in triple OT. Yeah, so they end up losing triple overtime. And then this year, Toledo comes back.
Was that the sack for a first down game?
No, that was against ASU. That's a different. No, but the one this year was Toledo in overtime. Miami fumbled it, and they almost returned it for a touchdown.
Oh yeah.
In that OT game. So this is.
Now
I think,
here's my thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, no, yeah, you finish up.
Oh, I was just saying. I think there's no way this doesn't go to overtime.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. I don't know, DogWater, you won't remember this, but a year ago, Toledo Buffalo was looking like the best rivalry in SFA history. Now, events changed that, but I'm still going Miami, Ohio. Toledo, entirely made out of bitches, and I hope every single one of them gets into a plane crash. Give me Miami, Ohio by 1 billion.
Oh my god!
Damn.
Now I will say.
I mean, I also was going to take Miami, Ohio, because I don't know. I from like the very, very few games we've got to see of Miami, Ohio, and Toledo, Toledo looks so bad anytime you watch them live. I don't think there's a shot they beat Miami, Ohio, who actually gave us an entertaining game.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to Bernard Porter.
Flame said a little brutal, my guy.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's going to be the next Marshall.
Please.
Look out for
McNasty.
PinStripe. You know, PinStripe, you've been tied to a few plane crashes. I wouldn't threaten plane crashes over here.
The plane crash was like 2 months after the fact. I don't get why that's a thing. He was in Buffalo. Ray Rice, Cody Stallone. They beat up McBurnfinger. I had nothing to do with it.
Okay. McNasty, do you have thoughts on this game?
Yeah, Miami, Ohio. About the same. Maybe like 500 million, not quite 1 billion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say Miami, Ohio is...
much more reasonable.
Miami, Ohio is actually carving out themselves as one of the most dominant teams in their conferences, behind only, Alabama in the SEC. Because Miami, Ohio has been here... Yeah, go ahead.
Is Mac Hippenhammer still here? Did he graduate?
I believe he graduated. But they still have the quarterback.
I was going to bump it up.
They still have the same QB.
Gabbard? Yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, Gabbard. But Miami, Ohio, this is their 4th straight MAC championship. They lost the second one in a close game. And this is their second. Last year, they only had 1 total loss. This year, they have 2. But they did beat Syracuse. Miami, Ohio is such a dominant team, I believe, but Toledo's the thorn in their side. But this is why I'm picking Miami, Ohio, is because of the fact it's going to be a close game. We're going to see Brett Huntley, and he is so bad when we watch. So for that reason, I think he's going to choke again as a senior, and Miami, Ohio is going to end up winning again. All right, so we'll move on to the sicko game of the week. I didn't pick this game to be sicko. I picked these games, I think, in order of their importance. So, Oklahoma 7-5 against Georgia, who's 10-2. Vandergriff will be back. He is playing in this game. So, Georgia is 16.5-point favorites. I think that might be a little bit too low. Do any of you guys think Oklahoma has any chance of winning this game?
No.
Yes.
Ooh. Do you have a reason for that, or are you just blind?
Because fuck Georgia.
Because fuck Georgia. Okay. I love it. You know what? McNasty is the winningest coach, or the best winning percentage in history. If he says fuck Georgia, fuck Georgia.
Yep.
If Dejan Edwards doesn't score, I'm not going to be okay after the kickoff return.
Is that statement even true after this season?
I don't know. Definitely.
I don't know.
I have the most.
Unless you count DogWater.
We're not counting DogWater.
Okay.
Oklahoma did beat Bama on BC, but Alabama's 7-5 as well. So I don't know how great of a win that is, Mike.
No, I don't care what anybody says. That is definitely a sickos conference championship game if a fucking 7-5 team is in it.
Absolutely. All I'm happy about is Alabama snaps a 3-win streak. Now, here is also a caveat, is the SEC, I believe the SEC, it's one of the two, either the East or the West, whichever one Georgia's from. Or no, whichever one I think Oklahoma's
East.
from. Yeah, has never won an SEC championship here. It's been 8 straight years or whatever. So that means
So they're due.
that means Georgia's gonna
No.
win. No, they're not due.
It's
They're
not
just
They're due,
shit.
baby.
They're due
just-
for one.
Okay,
You see what Georgia did to Georgia Tech? I mean, Jesus Christ.
yeah, I think Georgia just if Georgia isn't up by 3 scores by the time it gets to the fourth quarter, something's wrong. There's an injury or
Yo,
something.
if when Georgia wins the college football playoff, you won't even have to change the logo.
Okay, buddy.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, I just have to change the number to Vandegrift. I just have to add a 1 to Michael Bernard's
It'll actually be
number 2.
Dejan Edwards, but yeah, you're right.
Okay, so next up, this is the other matchup that's been dominated by one conference. We got Illinois and Ohio State. I don't think there's anyone on
Can
the
we
planet
say
that
Ohio
can
State if you want?
actually pick Illinois to win this game besides Flame because he's a homer. Big Ten West never won a Big Ten, so I don't think it changes. Anyone picking Illinois?
I actually want Ohio State to win.
Why do you want them to
Yeah,
win?
well, because auto bid, chaos, and whatever.
Yeah, I like chaos.
So if you like chaos, then you want
If they
Illinois
win,
to
they lock it.
Oh, never mind. I thought DogWater said he wanted Ohio State. I have no idea why he wanted Ohio State.
Why would I want Ohio? Of all people here, why would I want Ohio State to win?
Now
Why would I
here's-
want the chance of having to face them?
Here's the problem, though. If Ohio State
That's
loses,
why I want Ohio State to win.
if Ohio State loses,
They're
they're
still
pretty
in.
much guaranteed. Like, I don't think this game matters at all for the playoff. It just matters
That's
if,
what I'm saying.
if Ohio State gets a top 4 seed or not. And if they don't, whoever's number 4 is going to be pissed because then they're going to have to face Ohio State number 1 or number 4 versus
Yeah.
number 5. Yeah, I know.
The
Flame
only
won.
thing Illinois is going for them, and this isn't even a reason why they win, they have like a couple SFA players because of Ford, but the quarterback, the running back, Will Fork. It's about all I know.
Absolutely. They have some SFA players, but if Daryl Jackson was their starting quarterback, I think this team would actually probably have 10 wins. But for whatever reason,
Wait,
the
he's
game
not the starter?
started- No, he's their backup because the Sikowski guy got more progression, so they're starting him. And
Oh,
he's like a
That's
game
so lame.
manager, and they're running it, and he throws a lot less interceptions, so that might be why they're here. But Daryl Jackson gives them that boomer bust kind of factor where they could like show up and fuck someone up, but I don't think it happens.
do they? Where are Allstott and Will Fork on the depth chart?
Will Fork's number 3. Allstott's number 3, but Doug Chonkla, another SFA player who we saw score a few touchdowns, is number 2 behind Chase Brown, and he will play. So they do have some, and then their starting safety is Kyle Horry as well, who's an SFA A player who had a pick on game day. Now we get into the fun games. Pac-12 championship. You got Arizona State and Coach Rick. Unfortunately, he can't get a playoff spot unless there's some wildness that happens. And then Washington. Anyone think the hefty lefty can pull it out?
No.
I
Same
believe. I
Same
believe.
reason as New Mexico. He's just inexperienced. I mean, what was it? The Toledo game was a real big choke when we saw him live.
Oh yeah.
I love Rick. I think he's one of the best guys in the SFA. But I really Washington's my natty pick. So
Okay.
yeah, Washington by 50.
Okay.
No shot, dude. I think a lot of people are way overlooking Arizona State because we saw the early season struggle. I don't think anybody here realizes just how good Arizona State actually is.
I think there's some merit to that because they have their only loss since that Toledo game is last week against Arizona, which was a very close game. So, I mean, I just don't know if they have the firepower because we've also been seeing Washington fuck up every single person. But Arizona State did beat Stanford.
Yeah, but who have
is a
they
very
played
similar
really
build.
this season though?
Cal. They played Cal and they murdered them.
Cal, Arizona, Oregon. Yeah.
Yeah, but
What,
isn't
what
Cal a
week
bottom
was-
half 25 team?
What week was Washington versus Boise?
Early in season, I believe week
Early.
3.
Yeah.
Either 2 or 3.
Okay, yeah, no, Washington by 50.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and this is another team who I think, because I was running scenarios, I think Ohio State and Washington are pretty much in the playoff unless they lose, unless there's a shitload of chaos and they lose by like more than 3 scores. Like I don't see
Yeah.
how they're left out. Um,
Mhm.
I think Washington, if everything else is chalk and they lose this game, then they do get left out because that Boise State loss. Because I think there's a lot of one-loss teams that have more merit than them. But I'm picking Washington to win a close one.
Yeah. McNasty?
Arizona State by 3.
Respect.
Ooh,
Maybe double overtime.
double OT.
Yeah, double
That's where
overtime. Arizona State by a field goal.
We know Washington can't perform in overtime.
Bingo.
Ooh, I like that. All right, now for the game. Everyone's excited for Tulane at Memphis. Unfortunately, Tulane lost, so this isn't a playoff game. It is for Memphis, but it's not for Tulane. Honestly, I don't think Tulane wins this game. I think Memphis gets it done because there were injuries to Tulane's team. Let me pull them up. Yeah, so Tulane, or no, that was SMU.
If you put a gun to my head and said pick the winner or die, I'd pick Memphis. But I think it would be so funny to see how mad DogWater gets when he loses this game that I'm going Tulane.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about it. I mean, 12-1 is still a hell of a fucking season. So
Yeah, and at 12-1, if there's any chaos at all, I think you're probably going to get put in by the committee. I mean, you're guaranteed a Citrus Bowl at the very least. I know that would be disappointing, but we get to watch Henny God destroy probably ECU
I
or
I
Florida
also
State.
really don't want
I
to.
think it would be Florida State, and I'm actually hoping we lose this fucking game now. I am hoping we lose this game because I want to kick Florida State's ass right now.
You know what? That is a good consolation prize because that would be a fantastic Citrus Bowl to watch Henny God
That would be so
put up 65 on Florida State.
God.
But the reason I put the spread only at 5 is really because of that reason. Is I don't think it's going to be all that close. I think Memphis will win this like they always do. And Le'Veon Bell's going to score 3 more touchdowns.
Dude, he's been on a fucking tear.
7 touchdowns.
I think, what does he have, like 7 touchdowns in 2 games? Yeah.
1 defensive, 6
When
offensive.
like 2. Yeah, 1 defensive. That's what it was.
Now I'm going to throw out a projection here. I think Le'Veon gets a defensive touchdown, a kick return touchdown, and a rushing touchdown.
I mean, if that happens, he's
Yo.
probably an SFA Hall of Fame.
Dude, he's having that kind of a okay. I was thinking if Brandon Thomas got hurt and missed the playoffs, if Le'Veon Bell led him to a natty, he would be a Hall of Famer. But he's not hurt. So,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Right.
you also got to realize Le'Veon's playing both sides of the ball, and he's still getting carries whether Brandon Thomas is hurt or not.
Well, yeah, but Stamina's not on, so
Absolutely,
not
but
impressive.
in game day, he's not going to get his main carries, but he's on defense, so anything can happen.
Yeah.
All right, on to our
Yeah,
final.
he can fuck us really well.
Yeah.
I just want to say Memphis by 14, and they're my natty team. So
Oof.
You know what? I'm
I don't
always going
believe in
to
this.
pull. I'm always going to pull for the G5 team when they make it. I was the biggest UAB supporter last year and SDSU, but yeah, if Memphis makes it, I'm
beg
going
to
to be
differ.
cheering for it.
Hey,
for them,
dude.
absolutely.
The game wants us there, baby.
I think
We'll
for
see.
sure.
It
I think
wants us there.
unless the first round matchup, unless you face an Ohio State or a Washington, I think you win that first round game. So I think you make
Yeah.
semifinals no matter what, depending on the matchup. But on to the last CCG before game day is Arkansas and Baylor. Now, Baylor, they're going to have Teddy Bridgewater back for this game. I thought, and I told Flame this, I thought that Bridgewater was going to be back against Oklahoma State, but the game decided to not play him. So, because he was listed as probable, and they still didn't play him. They played the backup 71, and they lost to Ohio State, or Oklahoma State. So, Teddy Bridgewater's back. He's against Arkansas.
100%?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think he's even on the injury report anymore. Arkansas has been good, but they proved since they stopped playing Big 12 play that they are susceptible to losing. And this is Flame with the 4th straight CFP bid on the line. I don't see how Baylor could possibly lose this game.
Well, also, if you look at it this way, Baylor, especially if they're getting their starting quarterback, or is Teddy second string or starter? What is he on the depth chart?
He's starter.
He's starter.
Oh, he's a starter?
Yeah.
Okay, so they get their starting quarterback, and he's coming right back. So, dude, Arkansas pretty much... Did Kansas State beat Arkansas, right?
Yes. 14-6.
Yeah, Arkansas really, for the most part of that game, just got manhandled. Like, their defense hung in there, but offensively, they just got manhandled by a Kansas State team that Baylor went and beat the brakes off of. So I just don't see how there's any way possible Arkansas can pull something over Baylor. Like, I think it's going to be like a 3-touchdown game, and it won't even be close.
Wait, you think Arkansas over Baylor?
No, I think Baylor's going to beat Arkansas, and it's not even going to be close.
Yeah, so I have about 1,000 reasons why Baylor wins this game. Flame is a phenomenal human being. I wish him the best. But also, Teddy Bridgewater has a job interview this game, right? Colt Brennan is coming. And all Bridgewater can do now is hope that he plays well enough to give Brennan a red shirt for his senior season. I think Baylor wins this game. I hope Lattimore doesn't score, but I still think Baylor wins by 30.
Now, I like what you're thinking, Pinhead, but I think it's for a different reason. I think if Flame leaves, right? If he goes somewhere else, Teddy Bridgewater probably remains starter at Baylor unless someone tampers and gets him, because he still has, I believe, at least one more year to play. And I think if somebody
He's a junior.
So if somebody has a championship window, you have like a 97 overall Teddy Bridgewater just sitting there available, why not pick him up for 1 year? Like, for instance, for me, I considered going after a quarterback as a tamper last season, but I didn't quite have the budget, obviously, to pick. But I was thinking maybe a Sean Mannion. I probably should have done it, considering Alex Flynn choked my season.
But you have to be in the right situation to make that pick.
Dude,
because you know that's kind of like a Rams. No, I know, but what I'm saying is, like, for somebody to go in there and spend that kind of money it costs to get the tier 2 grab a fucking SFA player.
Right.
I mean, you got to imagine, like, these guys are going to have... This is going to have to be a team that's, like, really set everywhere, and they're just trying to pull the Rams and buy in for 1 year.
Yeah, I did take... Neil's talking about how I stole his O-lineman. Yeah, I did take your O-lineman. But, like, okay, so even... Like, let's say Henny God leaves, right? And if you had the budget...
You better not.
Would you take a quarterback so that next year isn't so bad? Like, you're gonna have this big budget.
No.
No? Okay.
I think that if you spend the money for tier 5 tamper, you got to get a sophomore or a junior.
Yeah, I think that's too much money for a year of budgeting for you to just throw away on 1 year of eligibility. Yeah. And there's not even a guarantee that he's even going to be there because he could go pro because he's a 97 overall.
I mean, I think it depends. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater is the guy because he's notoriously a choker and not a good game day performer. But if it's like a Garrett Grayson or something like that, then absolutely.
That's completely different.
Well,
Bridgewater.
Yeah, I just still feel like it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is. If they have 1 year of eligibility left, you're basically saying to hell with the recruiting. Anybody coming here, I'm just going to bank on this 1 year of success.
Right.
Now, McNasty, Big 12 title game.
Arkansas.
Oof.
Okay. Well, I wish I didn't ask you then.
Damn, flame down bad. The man has spoken. Now, always McNasty goes against the grain on BearCave, and he's always either 100% right or like 100% wrong. So, will this be one of those magical weeks? No, it's normally true. He either gets the worst
go big
score
or
or the
go
best
home.
score. Yeah, go big or go home, absolutely. All right, as we go into game day, this is the only surefire playoff game of the week with both teams. Winner guaranteed a spot, loser most likely misses out. Is Clemson going to miss out for a second year in a row? I think
Yes.
Miami's winning this because here's the reason. They lose Matt Barkley, they lose Taysom Hill, and they lose Cameron Harris. A three-headed monster on offense, QB, wide receiver, running back, and yet they're still in the exact same position as last year, 10-2. They have God's power offer on the D-line. They have Telvin Smith. They have Michael Brockers. They have a bunch of SFA players. Clemson.
Well, they
is
still
just,
have Tyler Van Dyke as a backup.
Van Dyke's exactly.
Starter.
He's the starter this year with
starter.
Xavier Restrepo, who stepped into the wide receiver 1 role, and they have Jalen Knight in that running back. Like, this team is stacked, in my opinion, and
Yeah,
they've won on game day this year. They've proven they've been on BearCave multiple times.
they handled Georgia Tech very well.
Yeah, the Georgia Tech. I just don't see Clemson actually winning. They don't have any. And here's the reason I have a vendetta against Clemson. Any SFA player that's been on their team, they've cut. So fuck them. Yeah, there's only one SFA player who's gone to Clemson and has not been cut, and that is the guy who got randomly rolled to him, the in-game recruit last year. I forget his name. Yes, Stanky Leg. Yeah, exactly. He's the only player, and he's going to get cut next year if things are continuing. So, fuck Clemson, Miami by 100.
I'll give you 4 reasons why Clemson wins this game. Number 1, Clemson was not happy being left out last year after a 3-hour debate in the playoff meeting. They weren't happy. They want this, and they know they're not getting it if they lose. Number 2, the only reason Miami won last year was because Boston College played about 15 different quarterbacks. They cycled through them 100 times, and they put a freshman in on the drive to win the game. Number 3, Matt Barkley isn't here, which plays into number 4. Matt Barkley's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight, and all of the Hurricanes are getting drunk on Latina juice, and they're showing up to this game tomorrow hungover.
Ooh, shit.
I mean, my pick for Clemson is just because I want Miami to lose.
God, you're such a homer.
So, yeah.
I hate Clemson too, but
McNasty, what's your
I have a
pick?
pure hatred for Miami at this point. So Clemson by 24.
Oof.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's tough.
I will say, though, I didn't realize I knew Clemson cut one of their O-linemen SFA players. I didn't realize it's been every player ever. That is extremely
Jonathan
fucked.
Hankins, the running back. I believe there was a wide receiver. But yeah, they've all been cut from the program. Except Stanky Leg, but most likely next year he will get cut. It's
He's not even a true SFA recruit. He's just an in-game recruit.
Yeah. He was
so Stanky Leg, he didn't commit to Clemson. No one got him, so I had to roll. So if nobody gets an in-game recruit, you know how some just don't go anywhere? Yeah, I then spin a wheel on all teams that aren't users, and it went to Clemson. I did it for anybody could have gotten him, and it went to fucking Clemson. So, yeah. All right, anybody have any last thoughts on CCGs tomorrow? I'm excited for it. It's going to be a great time.
Last year, I remember I was at work watching it, just hoping for one auto bid to fall to get SDSU in, and it didn't happen. I want to see chaos. Last year, 5 auto bids got locked up, or 6 auto bids got locked up. I want chaos. I'm not on the committee this year. I want to make their job really hard.
You know what? If there's no surprises and you get Georgia, Ohio State, Washington, Memphis, Baylor, and whoever in the ACC. If that happens, it's super easy. It's going to be plug and play, Notre Dame, and then most likely Kansas State or Stanford, depending on that discussion. But that's easy.
If Memphis isn't 2 after next week, if we win, I'm fighting everybody.
But if there is chaos, and there's a real possibility this season because of just what's gone on.
I also want to see Maryland.
There's 14 teams here that are 2 losses or less that have legitimate says. So as somebody who's on the committee here, I'm kind of hoping for like half chaos. I would like the top to kind of be solidified, and then it's like we have 3 spots for like 6 teams, right? I think that's where it would be the most fun. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a wild one. Speaking of wild, the reason McNasty decided to join us tonight, he is going to release his top 3. Who is at the table? McNasty, take it away. Tell us what's going on, and in your DMs, who's talking to you, who isn't.
It has been absolute pure chaos. My inbox has been full of about every single offer you could ever imagine. From current coaches letting me know that they want out and would like me to take over their jobs, to schools that I would never consider in a million years. I've narrowed it down. That's not important to mention at this time.
Okay.
Just
Air Force, we'll say that.
Did you say Air Force?
Yeah, Air
In the
Force.
Midwest.
McWest. Yo, is that McBacon?
Yeah, that was McGritty's old team. God, I hate that kid. So yeah, I've narrowed it down to what would seem to be my final 3. So we'll go right to the first one, I guess.
All right. Oh, are you waiting for me to flip the screen?
Suspense is killing me.
I just don't want to see Central Michigan, dude. Oh, he muted himself?
The suspense is killing me, dog.
All right, sorry about that. I had a phone call. Yeah. So go to the first one. All right. Yeah, that would be the phone call right there. I would like to announce that I have signed with Michigan State University.
Doug, does someone want to explain to McNasty what a top 3 means?
Well, but you'll have to excuse me 2 seconds. Hold on. I have another phone call.
Oh, here we go.
So
boo! He signed with Michigan State.
I had his top 3 in here, right? And then moments before stream, he flips the script.
Ooh, he beats up Michigan players.
I don't know if he's actually on a phone call or if this is just a dramatic effect.
This is definitely a dramatic effect. He already picked up one phone call. He's like, oh, here's the phone again. I feel like I'm on Deal or No Deal right now with all this unnecessary stuff. Where's Howie Mandel?
There was smoke. We had LSU. We had Oklahoma State. We had Central Michigan. We had South Carolina put in their hat again, only to get disrespected. If this is true, Michigan State being the team, he's taking Banks McBurnfinger, the running back / linebacker. He's taking 5-star Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and he gets to come into a situation that just signed 5-star wide receiver Bradford Blazer, the SFA in-game recruit, who
I would
may
like
or
to
may
say
not
that
be McNasty.
If it's not Oklahoma State, I'm going to be a little irked because I spent like 3 hours finding the right hat that he wanted for this Oklahoma State profile picture just for him to not use it.
He's using it right now.
Yeah, but like...
Did you forget that he just said who he's signing with?
Did you forget that he's on the phone right now, dickhead?
All right, sorry
It's
about
already
that,
pulled up.
guys. sorry.
No, he's
All
on
right.
the
Is that the
phone
private
with
jet?
school.
Who was
I'm
on
back,
the
I'm
phone?
back.
Who was on the phone?
It was obviously the AD with Michigan State University
Ooh. Do you have any
because
do you have any details on the deal?
not that I can share right now, other than the fact that you are terrible with slides, and the build-up was not what I expected.
Okay, I was under the impression that it was the top 3 slide, and then you just went into Michigan State. Not that you're gonna go through the top 3.
It was supposed to go through the top. We talked about this. You're
Well,
killing me, Smalls.
there's a little miscommunication, just like there's lots of miscommunication with where the hell McNasty's going on a weekly basis. So Michigan State might not even end up being the team. He might flip-flop again.
No. Michigan State is the team. I do have other news about Garrett Grayson. He is going to be my offensive coordinator at Michigan State University. He is foregoing the NFL draft and going to follow me to the Big Ten to win a national championship.
That's actually pretty big news.
Yeah,
that's just horse shit. I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry.
It's not, man.
The number 1 prospect on Mel Kiper's big board just said he's not going to the draft. That man just had a heart attack.
All right, but like real talk, can you imagine that happened in real life?
It did.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's happening right now. This is live.
Yeah, in your face, bro.
This is breaking news. Absolutely live, unfiltered. Maybe a health issue. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, Mike's the
saying
king of
there's
SFA lore. I just say that.
Yeah, there you go. Garrett Grayson has blood clots.
He's got the Chris.
That's
He's
why-
got the Chris Bosch blood clots.
Yeah, he has some blood clots, and that's why San Diego State went 8-4. He's playing.
Yeah, there was a reason that we had to switch to more of a option than an air raid. But
God, dude, what is up with everybody running the fucking option? God, I have to have somebody explain this to me because I don't think everybody understands that the triple option is very dependent on your personnel. The only reason it works for teams like Mike, or I think there's like one other team that runs it pretty well.
Southern Miss.
They have the personnel for it. Mike on Georgia Tech. They have enough in the backfield that they can move them around to the A back and everything. So whenever you run it with a basic personnel package that you'll probably have, you're going to end up running it with your tight end playing fullback, and he's going to get all your carries up the middle, and he's just going to get stuffed every play.
All right, I got a question for you, McNasty.
Okay.
How long did you know you were going to Michigan State for?
About 24 hours.
30 seconds.
No, about 24 hours. Maybe a little more than that.
How long did you know you weren't staying at San Diego State? When was that decision made?
A while ago.
Yeah, I think before even the start of the year.
Ooh, interesting.
Since his first loss to, who was it, Auburn or no, Toledo? I don't know who you lost to first.
California.
Yeah,
Bro,
well,
their quarterback.
we already started talking about it. Now,
Yeah, I knew I was going somewhere.
Originally, I believe that you had you agreed to terms with Oklahoma State on the back channels, but nothing was signed. Is that right?
Yes, there was serious talk of me going to Oklahoma State. That kind of fell through when I knew I was going to end up in the state of Michigan. And I was actually going to return to Central Michigan, where I have an undefeated record as a coach.
Central Michigan.
But then Michigan State, in the last 24 hours, gave me a call, offered me what I couldn't refuse, and I seen no other better opportunity than to absolutely take Ohio State out of the picture for the rest of time than to be on the front lines and do the SFA a favor.
You know, this is such a big dick move because you get one of the best winningest coaches with the most success in SFA history, right? He's going to the best division in college football. You got Ohio State, you got Maryland, you got Michigan, Penn State, who have all been very, very good. Indiana and Michigan State have kind of been the outsiders, and now he's putting all that out on the line. He's going in, he's going to the bottom of that division, and he's going to fuck all these people up. It's great.
Are they even in a bowl
I
this
love
year?
the move. Huh?
And that was another reason why I wanted to go to Michigan State. Not only have I been a lifelong fan of the university, but I wanted to prove everybody wrong because of playing in the Mountain West and having this inflated record, some would say. I wanted to prove that what I'm doing wasn't a fluke there and that I can do it on the highest level.
Yeah, and Michigan State.
I believe.
Michigan State, I believe. Let me see what their record was, and because this makes sense. Yeah, they finished 4-8.
It was 4-7.
Tucker,
I just checked it.
Well, it's 4-8 because I didn't send an updated one. They just lost to Maryland.
All right,
but
guy.
yeah, they finished 4-8, and then so Mel Tucker's out. McNasty's in. It's going to be, and he has 3 amazing prospects coming into it. Plus, if he signs anybody else, so I think.
Yo,
it would just be those 3.
TC, did you hear that?
Huh?
Colorado just got a new head coach.
Who?
Mel Tucker.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. He single-handedly ruined our program.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so last thing is the Hall of Fame induction ceremony will be starting right after we finish this podcast. If anybody has questions for McNasty, put them in the chat now. Thursday Night Football, I'm sure we're already through the first quarter, and I'm sure the Eagles are probably winning by 14 or something. I don't know what the score is, but who do you guys have winning tonight, Eagles or Texans?
Eagles by 10.
Ooh, it's actually
Texans, baby, they're due.
It's 7-7 in the second quarter here.
Yeah.
Texans,
I said this earlier. Philadelphia is due for a loss. Texans are due for a win.
Dude, what is with you and being due? What the fuck?
I will
No,
say,
I mean, so in certain situations, it's definitely a valid. It's definitely valid. Like this is definitely one of those valid situations. Philadelphia is more than due for their loss.
Hey, fellas, real quick, I got to bounce. But
right.
I appreciate y'all so much.
Thanks for
And,
coming on,
I'm
McNasty.
McNasty.
No problem, man. Thanks for ruining my moment, and I look forward to next year.
I'm sorry. Oh no, I fucked it up.
TC. Classic TCL.
Oh my god.
Well, but anyways, what I was saying with them being due, certain situations it definitely qualifies for, and I think this is honestly just one of those situations because in the NFL, what always happens, the team you expect to steamroll is some of the time actually kicks your ass. So, like, you think about last year, you look at this game, you're going to look at it like we did with Buffalo versus Jacksonville last year.
Yeah, I mean, Thursday Night Football, also short week. There's always a chance. I think the Eagles are too good. I think that they'll end up winning this game, but it's going to be closer than people think. That's why I put Eagles no cover. It's 7-7 right now.
That's what I did.
Whoever's facing Jay Jettas is
Grab
already
Houston.
pissed because Miles Sanders already has a touchdown. But
Yeah.
All right. Any questions?
So-
Anybody have questions for me?
I have a question for you guys.
Yes.
Not so much a question as a statement, but SDSU, not SDSU, Michigan State, I'm looking at the roster video right now. They're losing their starting running back next year. but
Okay.
they're not losing either of their top two 85 plus middle linebackers, and so the running backs are all going to be around the low 80s to mid 70s, and I have an inside source tell me that Binks is going to be a two-way player.
Absolutely. That's my expectation. He's going to be a beast running back, and he's going to be playing. I don't think he'll be a starter right away at the linebacker, but I expect him to play. It's going to be an exciting team. Bradford Blazer on the outside. I think his first action, he needs to find a QB because I'm not sure they have all that great options.
He's an 81 overall, and his name is Hamp Fay.
Hamp Fay, and what year is he?
He's a sophomore, so he's
Okay,
actually not bad.
So he's going to have a junior mid to high 80s if progression doesn't fuck him over, and he'll have one more year to groom a freshman running back. Now, or a
He will
freshman
have
QB.
to. It looks like he will. Do you know what overall off the top of your head Blazer is?
Bradford Blazer, he's in low 80s.
So it looks like they'll have to redshirt him. Their receivers they've got 4 above an 80 already, and I don't think any of them are seniors, but I could be wrong. So it looks like Bradford Blazer won't play in season 10.
If he does play, if he doesn't play, he has SFA players already coming with him. It's going to be. See, that's the one thing that's rough about going to one of these low performing like prestigious schools is they have good overall teams. So it's hard to immediately make an impact. Like for instance, if you're at Buffalo, any single kind of prospect you get is going to most likely start 4 years. Whereas if you go to LSU, he got 2 super high rated SFA players, but they're like number 3 on the depth chart, so there's no immediate impact.
Yeah.
So it's rough.
I also want to say I'm an idiot for not putting together Bradford Blazer. I've emailed McNasty before. I know his name, and I didn't put that together.
Yeah. he made that.
Oh,
guy,
by the way,
go ahead.
For Thursday Night Football, you're not gonna like this, Pinhead, but AJ Brown goes off for a 40-yard reception, and then Jalen Hurts fumbles, and they turn the ball over.
Why am I not gonna like that?
Because I have AJ Brown, and I'm facing you this week.
Oh, you fucking bitch!
He's already at 5 points in the first quarter.
You love to see it. All right. Well, this is the longest podcast we had. I'm sorry I messed up the McNasty announcement a little bit, but I think it was good. So thank you guys all for watching.
See ya.